Hey everyone. It's been a while since I posted a video here. I've had to make choices in terms of where I spend my time and attention, and without having habituated regular video episodes, it wasn't necessarily going to be the best platform for me to efficiently operate. Having said that, I'm starting to reconsider because I do think I can actually spin something up quicker, post it, put it out there if it's timely, and today is one of such occasions. So, why am I speaking to you today? Well, anyone who is deep in Bitcoin is very likely to already be familiar with what I'm about to talk about. So this really is aimed at the more casual Bitcoin audience, anybody who might have stumbled across my Substack and isn't deep in the world. And something happened this week that just needs to be addressed, and it wasn't good. It was something pretty bad. So I just want to say that straight out the gate, that this was unfortunate. This affected real people and their real life savings. So it's not a joke. This isn't funny. And those people, what's truly tragic it wasn't some FTX situation where you're like, trust me, bro, it's fine. These were people who did self-custody, who went with a highly recommended cold storage hardware wallet, something called Coldcard. And Coldcard was hacked. And some people lost enormous amounts of their life savings. Yeah. And the root of the problem came from how it generated random numbers. So RNG is the shorthand that the developers would use, RNG. And if you do it correctly, it should just mathematically be impossible for somebody to just what they call brute force attack. With new AI tools, we're having new attack vectors coming in and finding vulnerabilities. And so this was one, it gets a little bit above I'm still learning about exactly how this exploit was overlooked. But what I can tell you from what Valentino has put out into the world, who is enormously more knowledgeable than me, is this was a really tricky thing to find because you had to kind of look at multiple systems to find the error. But what happened was there was insufficient entropy. Entropy meaning sort of the chaos of randomness that we find in the universe, and you want to capture appropriately to protect yourself for something that requires randomization, which these cryptographic keys, when you have a pairing of your public and private key, this is what ultimately gets summarized in your 12 or 24 word seed plate. The Bitcoin network continued to operate as it does. And because you can't censor it, bad actors can operate on it just as easily as good actors. It's an unfortunate thing, and it's a necessary thing. Because if you start saying only the people that we approve of can transact, well, you're no longer decentralized, you're no longer permissionless, and you've lost the core attributes, pun not intended, to Bitcoin. Sorry, Bitcoin tenors. I don't mean to make a joke there. So, something that protected some people was another layer of protection called a passphrase. And a passphrase isn't the same as your 12 or 24 words. It's additional secret that creates an entirely different wallet. And so even if somebody learns your seed phrase, without that extra passphrase, they won't be able to get your Bitcoin. So it's another layer of defense. And what this episode has proven is not that Bitcoin doesn't work. Although our best practices still have to be better. It's better. There's an anti-fragile aspect to all of this, which if you're not familiar with Nassim Taleb's anti-fragility, it's that you attack something, you break something, and it becomes stronger, like bones, arguably, under the right circumstance. Bitcoin should be anti-fragile. It needs to be anti-fragile. It must be anti-fragile, which means that this has to make us stronger. And it will. But it doesn't mean that this was good. This was bad. And some people will learn the wrong lesson from it. Not to sugarcoat things, this was bad for Bitcoin because it was bad for self-custody. Because the people who weren't affected by this were people who had their Bitcoin in ETFs, or exposure through MicroStrategy, or they, heaven forbid, kept their coins on exchange. And those people get to be pretty smart today. And maybe you'll be incentivized to continue doing it. And it's a step away from us being a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, as had been the title of the title of Satoshi's initial white paper. And if this shook confidence, yeah, I get it. It sucks. It's terrible. It's not good. And the comparison is going to be to gun ownership. Can't help but do it. And the case still has to be made that if you have Bitcoin exposure through an ETF, if you have your Bitcoin on exchange, you don't actually hold the keys yourself, then you're reliant on them having their stuff together the way you're reliant on the police answering the call. Yeah, a lot of the times the police answer the call. And if they don't, then what? What are you going to do when the orcs are at the keep? No one is coming to save us, and no one is coming to save you. Is it reasonable to expect you to do the open source code review at this expert level that ensures these things that an AI model barely was able to find? No. It's not. It's crazy, right? We have to be calm, we have to be careful, and we have to be current. What's really interesting is the Bitcoin price barely moved, barely reacted. Market didn't see this as Bitcoin failing. Wasn't the blockchain breaking. Cryptography operates. It was a wallet. And this has happened before. Wallet developers have made mistakes. The unfortunate thing was this is a good one that had been reviewed by really smart people, and it's still messed up. Which goes to show you that AI code review, it's not optional, has to be done. Scary. Imagine trying to develop new privacy software and saying, we've done our full review. This isn't going to reveal your privacy. By the way, if we made a mistake, you're compromised in some way. No two bones about it. No avoiding it. But this was never going to be easy. This was never going to be smooth. And you know what? The exploit was there and it was found. It's terrible, terrible that it was abused. But you know what? If nothing had happened and it just festered and was never there, it's better that it happened now than 5 years from now. That's not much. I realize how little consolation that is. I don't... That's not good enough for the people who lost their money. That's terrible. I really hope that whoever did this is traceable in some way, because black hatting this was just sick, disgusting. But we'll see. I hope they don't sleep well at night, knowing not only that they did something bad, but they'll be hunted for. And we'll see if they made a mistake or not. I say this as a guy who's pro-privacy, which I absolutely am. Privacy is for the good guys, and the bad guys can use it too. Maybe they did immaculate privacy, but I know from working in it that privacy is very hard, just as self-custody is very hard, clearly. Doing everything right is not the easiest task. And that's going to be the wrong lesson that a lot of people learn. They say it's too complicated. Just leave my coins on exchange. And I understand. I don't know if you ever watched The Walking Dead. I'll try to clip it if I can get away with it here, where everyone's guns were secretly sabotaged to fail. That's what it's like. That doesn't mean you stop owning firearms or that the concept of owning a firearm is useless. It means that you need to be careful about which firearms you use. Build better firearms. Understand them better. Improve them. Bitcoin's no different. Self-custody had a really bad day. And the answer to that is not give up sovereignty. It's not even gold. It's still too clunky. It's still reliant on you assuming that the gold in Fort Knox is really there, that you can't find new sources of gold. There's a lot of unknowns. Bitcoin's advantages are still very real. And they can be improved upon. Just like you could improve on like gold mining, let's say. You can improve on privacy and security, and we will. And I'm trying to take that lesson that we have work to do. And we are going to build a better world and protect people from the villains who would target them. Privacy is a layer of security. Never has it been more clearly the case that we need it to me. The less information that people have about you, about your wallets, about your balances, your identity, your transaction history, harder it is to target you. And this has been a rough week for people who are targeted, for Bitcoin, for Coldcard, for everyone affected. But we can't just give up. We need to work harder, and that's what we're going to do. So please comment away if this video was in any way helpful or clarifying, just so that I know that, because I'll continue to do them if they are useful to people. And be careful out there. It's a dangerous, dangerous world. And this won't be the last bad thing that happens. But hopefully, we learn the lessons from them. And we protect people as best we can. And we continue to get better. And give people an option for self-sovereignty and for financial security moving into the future. Thank you.